Whoa, 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 whoa. What's up, y'all? Robbie TV, Shake Back Kid. We back live with it, baby. You know what I mean? Back live with it. No, I ain't been live in like 2 days, man. So I said I gotta go live tonight, Saturday night. Got a lot to talk about, too. Whole lot. You know what I mean? Let me start off by saying I appreciate everybody that hit the subscribe button, man. I appreciate everybody that hit the like button. Appreciate everybody that tapped in, man. You know what I mean? Everybody that watched this on the replay. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody, man. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. You know what I mean? I'm at like 1,200 watch hours. So, you know, I'm growing. I'm getting there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm getting there. It's grind and dedication. I really got to start uploading more videos, too. Like, just regular videos. But you know, I'm gonna start doing that too, because I be trying to just do travel videos, but we gonna get it done, baby. We gonna get it done. We gonna start building out, making all types of content. You feel me? So yeah, we got a couple things to talk about today. As I don't know if y'all been hearing about it, but it's just it's been a lot going on, man, overseas. You know, it's been a lot going on here in America too, but we're gonna take a trip overseas today, go to Sudan and over in Africa, which I've been hearing about for a while, which have been, you know, Africa been going through it for a while. I just was watching the thing about the King Leopold, you know what I mean, with the Congo. Africa been going through it, man. They still getting exploited. You feel what I'm saying? With the minerals and the cobalt and the gold and oil and everything else they can get. So yeah, but we're gonna talk about South Sudan, man. It's been a big humanitarian crisis going on over there. As I don't know if y'all seen, Trump said something about it, and you know I was thinking, I was like, man, you know, I ain't really feeling Trump, but I do agree that he said something about it, you know, because it's wrong going on over there. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, it's supposed to be good thing in America, we got freedom of religion. But from what I'm hearing, that it's been a lot of Christians, you know, that's getting, you know, just what's the word I'm looking for? Annihilated. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's been crazy, man. So we gonna touch on this story, man. It's in South Sudan. It's I don't know if it's Sudan or South Sudan, but I know it's Sudan. Yeah, man. It's crazy what's going on over there in Africa, man. And then we don't hear about it on the news. All we hearing is Palestine, Gaza. You know what I mean? And shout out to them people too. But it's been a lot going on over there in Africa, man. You already know Africa is all the minerals in the anything that's got something of value is in Africa. You know what I mean? By the boatload too. Like it's all types of resources going over there. So you know what I mean? it's sad to hear, you know, people going over there, and like from what I just seen on this video, they said that you can see it from the Google satellite images. Like you can go Google satellite, which I can see. We can see it right here. Man, that's terrible. They said, you know, it's red areas full of red. You know what I mean? Which is blood. You know what I mean? And just smoke, fire, famine, all types of stuff. Like you can really see it from the Google images if you search right there and then scroll all the way in. You can definitely see it. It's terrible what they got going on over there, man. You know, hopefully them people over there in Sudan, you know what I mean, they can get they just dues, man, and we can get some type of civilization and all that over there, and just some justice, because you know what I mean, it was, for what it was already, you know, they said it was a bustling town. You know what I mean? That's my trip is to go over Africa. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, explore that before I go to Europe. You know what I mean? I'm doing my Caribbean, you know what I mean? I'm hitting the islands and all that now, but once I really done with the Caribbean, you know what I mean? I'm going to Africa, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, we're going to touch on this situation, what's going on over here in Sudan. It's looking like, yo, it's looking bad, man. It's looking real bad. And, you know, we want to see what's going on over there. I know they got all different types of, you know, famine and just all types of stuff going on over there, man. What's up with y'all, man? What's up, man? Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. We talk about what's going on over there in Sudan. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but going over there in Africa, it's a major genocide going over there in Africa, man. In Sudan. I believe Sudan might be West Africa. I'm not sure. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, man, yo, y'all gotta check this out, man. It's real. It's bad over there. You know what I mean? And I ain't, you know, I American and African, we kind of got our differences. You know what I mean? But that's our people, especially if you're black. You know what I mean? We still come from the same race. You feel what I'm saying? We come from the same origin, bro. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't want to admit it. Oh, we was already here, and I mean that might be true. But the black race, all race, you know what I mean? But that's mainly the black race comes from Africa, man. That's where the most black people was at. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's really no, you know what I mean? Like, it's no other way around it. You know what I mean? I don't know why people be wanting to say, well, I'm from this, I'm from that, man. If you black, 9 times out of 10, your origins trace back to Africa. If you light skinned, it might be East Africa going towards, you know what I mean? Like the Middle East, you know what I mean? Like towards Jordan and Egypt and all that over there. But if you darker, you know, you might have skins going towards South or Central Africa or West Africa. You feel what I'm saying? So, but if you black, 9 times out of 10, your origins trace back to Africa. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. You know what I mean? And we have facts that prove that. Like, we can go look it up, and they say a lot of the oldest fossils and the oldest bones come from Africa. You know what I mean? The old ancient civilization, Egypt. You know what I mean? You got the pyramids, even though it's pyramids all around the earth. You know what I mean? All around the world. But, you know, yeah, man. You know, me personally, I feel like that. Yeah, a black. If you black, 9 times out of 10, you trace back to Africa. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe. What you say, Jackson? I like your glasses. Y'all appreciate that, bro. Come on, man. You keep spamming. Come on with the spamming in the comment section, bro. Can't be spamming in the comment section, bro. Gotta put you on timeout, bro. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe. So we touching on this Africa situation, man. If y'all don't know what's going on in Africa, man, here we about to look at it now. My channel, I deal with everything going on in the world, man. You feel what I'm saying? It could be America, it could be overseas. And you know what I mean? They protesting over there in Europe right now, in the UK and Europe. They trying to bring the chips over there first, the digital ID and the digital currency. So you feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all better pay attention, man. It's getting crazy out here. You know what I mean? So check this out. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe, Robbie TV. We speaking on the, so if you just got in, we speaking on the African situation going on in Sudan right now. It's a major genocide going on in Sudan. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure y'all ain't heard about it because they've been talking about Hamas and Gaza and Palestine, which, you know, shout out to them too. You know, I don't have no, you know, I feel like all people shouldn't, no people should be oppressed. All people should be free. You know what I mean? Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of everything. You know, that's what I believe in. You know what I mean? I'm glad we got that over here in America to a certain extent. You know what I mean? You can't be but so political. You know what I mean? You're going to get that knock at your door. But, you know, for the most part, you know, America, we got our freedom over here. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's looking bad over there in Africa, man. So make sure y'all check this out. Like, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, they say you can see it from space. It's so bad over there, man. You can see the genocide from space, the blood and You know what I mean? Just the famine, the fire burns, and the black smoke, and just everything. You can see it from space, man. So it's the news reporting on it. Check it out. They finally saying something about it. They tried to hide it. They tried to hide it for so long. You know what I mean? Tried to hide it, but somebody they had to talk about it because it's gonna get swept out of the world. You know what I mean? They gonna keep talking about Palestine and all them. They already good. They ain't tripping about Africa. Everybody got their ties into Africa, man. Everybody, the Europe, the United States, you know what I mean? India, China, Russia, all of them got ties to Africa. They all exploiting it. So they ain't really got no friends over there. All of them is in cahoots to exploit Africa. So make sure y'all check this out, man. Like, subscribe to the channel. Like, subscribe.
Phase. Aid agencies reporting new evidence of genocide, citing these photos they say is blood visible from space. Analysts say it's evidence of human bodies all over residential neighborhoods and a hospital after paramilitary rebels captured a key city from Sudan's army. They say verified videos also show evidence of door-to-door mass killings. Our aid groups are warning that these circumstances are putting hundreds of thousands of people in grave danger. Our foreign correspondent Patrick Regal has been following it all for us. What do we know about these claims of genocide and these horrifying images, Patrick?
Yeah, Kira, as you say, really appalling images that have been coming out of the city of Al Fasher in Sudan's Darfur region over the past few days. Videos showing buildings filled with bodies. As you say, those satellite images also appearing to show piles of bodies. And the reason that a number of experts have been saying that they believe we are seeing genocide here is that they see this as a continuation of the Darfur genocide that you may remember from 2 decades ago, back when this feared Arab militia, the Janjaweed, were burning people out of their villages, killing huge numbers of people, hundreds of thousands of people. Now, amidst Sudan's civil war that's been going on for 2 years, the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, have captured the city of Al Fasher after an 18-month siege. And now the fear is that, again, what is being seen is basically the non-Arab population being burned out of their homes, being killed and driven. And
you hear what he said, though.
Hold on, go back. On for 2 years. The RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, have captured the city of Al Fasher after an 18-month siege. And now the fear is that, again, what is being seen is basically the non-Arab population being burned out of their home.
You heard what he said? Non-Arab. Did you hear what he said? I'm gonna run it back again so you can hear what he said. He got an accent, so you probably ain't hear what he ain't comprehended clearly. But he said non-Arab people are getting burned out of their homes. I find that, you know what I mean? And you gotta think, probably half of Africa, and probably the whole, like 90% of East Africa, like I think between probably Morocco and Egypt and Libya and all that's like going towards East Africa, going towards the Middle East. You know what I mean? They all is like probably 80% is probably Muslim. So this is just my speculation, allegedly, hypothetically speaking. You know what I mean? This is all alleged on my end. My guess is, my hypothetical, it's a genocide on, they basically trying to take over, they trying to make everybody Muslim or the Arabic. You know what I mean? It's Arabic people coming over there taking over, and they trying to make people that's not Muslim or what's the I guess, yeah, Muslim. That's the religion. I'm trying to think what's the other word. I know it's another word. Islam. If they not Islamic, you know what I mean, they killing them. They making everybody convert over to Islam over there, which is, it's messed up. You know what I mean? It's crazy because, you know, we should have freedom of religion. You know what I mean? And from what I supposedly know, but from what I'm seeing, it's not from what I'm hearing, you know what I mean, and looking at on you know, Instagram, TikTok, and all that, is Arabic people like ISIS and all these different militia terrorist groups that's going over there and dismantling and just causing total genocide on the African people. You feel what I'm saying? And trying to and converting them, they getting down, making them get down or lay down on this, on being Islamic, on being and converting to Islam. You know what I mean? So the point I'm making is, if you're not converting over to Islam, they killing you over there in Africa. That's what's going on. It seemed like to me. You feel what I'm saying? Just my hypothetically speaking. And like I say, probably a third of the country, a third of the continent of Africa is probably Muslim, Islam, converted to Islam, and probably 80% of East Africa, everything, you know what I mean, like you say, like the Egypt and Morocco and all that going towards the Middle East, they are definitely Muslim. You know what I mean? They made them convert probably a long time ago. That genocide been going on. So you feel what I'm saying? Yeah, it's basically the Arabic people that's coming from the Middle Eastern. They coming over into Africa and making Africa convert into Islam. I'm telling you. I mean, I believe that's what's happening. But you know what I mean? We're gonna let him tell it. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe, Robbie TV.
Been killed and driven out of that city, and so essentially,
let me go back. Listen what he say though.
The Janjaweed were burning people out of their villages, killing huge numbers of people, hundreds of thousands of people. Now, amidst Sudan's civil war that's been going on for 2 years, the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, have captured the city of Al Fasher after an 18-month siege. And now the fear is that, again, what is being seen is basically the non-Arab population
non-Arab
out of their homes, being killed and driven out of that city. And so essentially they're saying, well, what we've heard from researchers is that they see this as the final stage of that Darfur genocide that began 20 years ago. And there are, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people still in Al Fasher, it's believed. Tens of thousands have also been fleeing. So the situation there, very, very just appalling, and there's real cause to try and persuade the international community to try and do something, Kira.
So what is the current humanitarian situation there on the ground? I mean, we've heard some pretty horrifying reports from the World Health Organization, from the UN, from various aid groups that we've been talking to, Patrick.
Yeah, we've been speaking with aid groups who have people on the ground. There is a town about 70 miles from Al Fasher where there is a huge refugee camp where people have been trying to reach it from Al Fasher. And according to aid groups, people have been trickling in there in increasingly large numbers. According to the UN, 36,000 people have now fled Al Fasher in the past few days. According to them, they're telling terrible stories of gang rape, massacres, and just an appalling situation. 600,000 people are in that camp already, living in dire conditions. So you can imagine, even though these people are reaching safety, the situation there is still pretty unbearable, Kira.
Sure is. And we're going to continue to be committed to covering the story. Patrick Rebel, thank you.
God damn. Yeah, man. So that goes to show you, man, it's going down over there in Africa, man. It just make me think, you got sometimes you just gotta thank God, man, and just be thank that you blessed that even though we got it fucked up over here in America too, don't get it messed up. You know what I mean? But for the most part, if you know what I mean, try to do the right thing over here in America, you know what I mean? It can happen over here too. Don't get it messed up. We definitely, you know what I mean? Like we say, we getting, on top of that with the racism over here and police brutality, all that, you know what I mean? So we got it bad, but it's just on the fact that over there, it's just lawlessness. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's at least over here, we got a tad bit of justice, you know what I mean? A tad bit. We got even half for us, especially black people over here, but we got a tad bit, you know what I mean? And we got social media and all that shit now, you know what I mean? To put the, where people can't go but so hard. But over there, man, Africa, it's just all around bad, man. Like, they ain't got no food, they ain't got no money, they ain't got really too much of just nothing. You know what I mean? Then they burn them out of their homes. They just imagine if you already poor, living poor. You know what I mean? Then somebody try to come to your land and your home where you barely making it and burn you out your home. Now you ain't got literally nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that shit terrible how they doing the people over there, man, Sudan. It been going on for decades. I remember hearing about Sudan and reading that book. What was that book I read, man? It was in South Sudan too. Damn, that's crazy. I read that book in middle school. Damn, yo, I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't got my phone on me, so. But it was that book. It was a good book, man. It was a good book. I forgot what that book was called. It was based in South Sudan too. Damn. I'm gonna get the name for y'all. I'm definitely gonna get. I gotta get it right now though, cause just because it's on my mind. Let me go to Google real quick and see if I can. What is the book that is based in South Sudan? Based. What is that book called, yo? I want to read it so bad, man. Hey, nah, not A Long Walk to Water. Damn, what that book called, yo? I don't even really. I think is it A Long Walk to Water? Yeah, I think it is A Long Walk to Water. I remember reading that book, man. I forgot what book it was, but I remember it was based in South Sudan. I think it was A Long Walk to Water, though. I read that motherfucker in English class. I forgot when I was in middle school. But I remember it was. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I think it was Long Walk to Water. I can't remember the book, but I know it was a book that was based in. It was based in South Sudan. We read it. But I just say all that to say, man, Africa been going through it for a long time. It's crazy because I just watched the video. It's this little African history channel. And the shout out to them. I don't know. Hopefully they don't copyright me, but we might check that channel out. But I was watching the video where they was talking about the King Leopold, which I already knew about, but it's just like hearing them stories, man. Again, it's just thrilling. Like, god damn, this man really did all this to these people. They say, man, he killed up to 20 million Congolese people, man, chopping their arms off, their legs, babies. Like what type of person can you be to chop off a baby, man? A 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old. Cut their arm off, cut their leg off. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that shit, like, they was doing the most unthinkable things you can do to a person, man. That shit was crazy. Like King Leopold, man, of Belgium. Look what he did to the people. Look up what he did to the people of Congo. You know what I mean? The Republic of Congo, they call it now. You know what I mean? Democratic Republic of Congo. But it's man, that shit was so sad, yo. Like, he was really cutting people's arm off, just because they weren't making a quota. You know what I mean? Of picking, what they was picking rubber or something off. They was doing something, rubber or cobalt or something they was doing. But basically, and they was giving them crazy amount of quotas, making this person probably pick fucking 100 kilograms, probably, which is like 500 pounds or something, of cobalt a day, with something that's just unrealistic, something you can't do. And they giving them off bad minimum food and water in a hot, you know what I mean? You in Africa, you in a hot sun all day, just under crazy conditions. And just imagine if you ain't make that quota, your daughter or your son or your wife can get their arm or leg cut off. That shit crazy, man. What they did to them people over there in Africa is I don't think no country's been through what Africa, or I can bet it. No other countries been through what Africa has been through and still going through to this day, far as humanitarian crisis. You know what I mean? Maybe Haiti. You know what I mean? We know Haiti is in, but even Haiti, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? Haiti would be a good runner up. That would probably be the only one. You know what I mean? But even you know, it's terrible what they got going on over there, man. It's terrible. You know what I mean? Like it's really. And the crazy thing about it is, it ain't even like no war or nothing like that. It's just they going over there just straight, like just killing people for no reason. Just imagine you minding your business. You know what I mean? Somebody just come and invade your land. You're like, damn, I ain't even doing nothing. Nobody. We over here we minding our business. That's the main thing too. Like you minding your business. You know what I mean? People coming over there and just bothering you. So yeah, we gonna let's check this video out, see if they can.
I want to tell you what's happening in Sudan, but before I do that, we need to go back to a time before the war. The month of Ramadan at dawn on.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe, Robbie TV. We touching on the situation that's going on in Sudan right now in Africa. It's a big humanitarian crisis going on over there. It's so bad where they got the satellite images that's thousands of feet in probably above the orbit, you know what I mean, out of space, whatever, you know what I mean. You know how far satellites can go, you know what I mean, where they got them where it's so far away that they can still see the bloodshed and the genocide and the chaos, everything that's going on. They can see that shit from thousands of miles away with a satellite. That's how bad it is. That shit crazy, man. So my heart go out to them people, man. Hopefully, you know what I mean, the children and ladies and, you know what I mean, the work, you know, the good working class people that's over there just trying to make a living can find a way, you know what I mean, and that, you know, they can, you know, somebody can step in. Where the U at? Where the UN when you need them? You know what I mean, and all that. Even though they are corrupt, them organizations are corrupt too. The World Health Organization, the UN, the WEF, all these organizations, Bilderberg, all these different organizations that don't do nothing but just come to these meetings and you know, see how they can control us, keep us controlled as far as the masses. You know what I mean? Like you got all different leaders of all different parts of the world come together a couple times a year just to talk about how they can keep their people that's in that country controlled. You feel me? Like the shit crazy out here, man. So my heart go out to them people, man, in Sudan. Hopefully that they can find a way. Hopefully, you know, it can step in and they could just sort things out. You know, they could, you know, at least be peace. You know what I mean? Even, you know, it's gonna be crime, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be, but at least, you know what I mean, people can at least walk down the street and feel safe. You feel what I'm saying? That's the main thing. Like, that shit crazy, man. You know what I mean? You're gonna have crime and all this, and you know what I mean? You're gonna, you know, as long as it's poverty, you're gonna have that. But this shit is just like, what they doing is just inhumane. Like, god damn. You know what I mean? That's nothing. You wouldn't even treat a dog like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Burning people's houses down, setting people on fire, killing, dismantling people. Like, they just doing crazy shit, all because people ain't trying to convert to Islam. Allegedly, from what I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm thinking that's what it is, but I believe that's what it is. I told y'all the numbers of and if you go back probably 100 years, Africa was nowhere near how Muslim, you know, it wasn't that many Muslims in Africa, nowhere near how it is now. You know what I mean? Islam took over the continent of Africa, and I might look into that. Actually, let's look into that. Let me see if I can find something, you know, regarding that, because I believe that is really the case. Has Islam religion took over the African continent? Let's see. Let's see.
why are more Muslims moving to Christian nations and not Christian nations moving to Muslim nations? Why do you think that is?
It's economics, pure economics. If you look at Christians that move to Saudi and the Gulf, there's a huge influx of Christians from the Philippines, from Africa, from Eastern Europe that flock to the Gulf countries, Muslim countries. Why? Because of GDP, because of the economy. The influx of people of all religions and cultures to the U.S.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. I don't think they really going. Yeah, they probably really gonna have nothing regarding that. It's probably, they wiped the internet clean. So, but yeah, I can tell you that something going on over there in Africa, man. Where they trying to convert to Islam. They trying to convert them people to Islam. You know what I mean? And like I said, you go back on, African. They got, it was a lot of African spirituality religions. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't really the case. You know what I mean? On a Christian, that might have been probably was the biggest major religion in Africa, just because of the slavery days and all that stuff. But, Africa, they did a lot of, and I'm speaking just from the outside looking in. You know what I mean? Because I've never been to Africa. I don't foresee I haven't seen it firsthand, but me just, doing research and, looking at the history, Africa was more so of them religions wasn't big like that. It was more so African spirituality, you know what I mean? Maybe as not like voodoo, but something in that nature, you know what I mean? Something like that, you know what I mean? With Africa, it wasn't this Islam and, like I said, maybe Christianity. That probably was the biggest because of, that's what they pushed on as far as slavery. But you know what I mean. So yeah, it's just crazy to think that all these hold on, let's see what this says.
For centuries, Africa wasn't just a land of kingdoms and empires. It was a battlefield for the soul. Islam came from the east. Christianity came from the west. And both would fight, not always with swords, but with schools, missions, gold, and guns. Islam arrived in Africa as early as the 7th century. It spread through trade, not conquest, flowing across the Sahara with gold, salt, and scholarship. From Timbuktu to Zanzibar, African Islamic empires flourished. Then came Christianity, first with the Portuguese, then with British, French, and German missionaries. They brought crosses and colonialism. Churches rose where mosques stood. Schools replaced sacred traditions. What followed was not just conversion, it was competition. In Nigeria, Sudan, Ethiopia, Congo, Islam and Christianity built schools, trained leaders, and tried to control kings. Souls became strategy. Both religions brought education, medicine, and law, but also division. In some families, brothers became enemy.
I hate them AI channels, man. They got all these AI, but I know I probably won't find nothing to it. Let me see.
As a colonization historian, I also noticed that Islam always spread naturally, while Christianity was often forced upon as a result of colonization.
This must be satire, because no one could make such a ridiculous claim with a straight face, when in fact the opposite is true. Let's look at some real history. Going back to the early years of the religion, Islam was spread first and foremost through violent conquest. After Muhammad's death, the Islamic conquests began, where the Arabs conquered all the way to Spain in the west and India in the east. Much of these lands, like Egypt and Syria, were the heart of the Christian world at the time. They were ripped out, never to return. After the campaign of destruction and enslavement, the new subject peoples, whether Christians or other minorities, were forced to pay the jizya. This was a tax designed to economically subordinate them and force them to carry out humiliating rituals, cementing their social inferiority. This was enforced at the point of the sword and created a generational pressure to escape this status by converting to Islam.
As a colonization historian, I also noticed that Islam
I can tell you that, a lot of countries was probably forced into Islam. You know what I mean? Allegedly. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I just wanted to see. Let me see if we can find a couple of videos. Yeah, man, 'cause it's going down over there in Sudan, man. I just want to put a little light on it. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's shit
The head
going
of the
bad.
International Committee of the Red Cross has said history is repeating itself after reports of mass killings during the fall of al-Fasher in Sudan's Darfur region last week.
It becomes worse every time a place is taken over by the other party.
Mirjana Spoljaric was speaking after the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, seized al-Fasher last week. The city was the Sudanese army's last holdout in Darfur, a region where hundreds of thousands of people were killed in the 2000s in what was widely labeled as a genocide. The RSF has its roots in the Janjaweed militias mobilized by the government at the time and who were accused of atrocities. Last week, the UN's Human Rights Office said hundreds of civilians and unarmed fighters may have been killed as the RSF captured al-Fasher. Witnesses have described RSF fighters separating men from women and children, with gunshots ringing out afterwards, though the RSF denies harming civilians. Tens of thousands have fled.
There are many tens of thousands more that we assume are still in al-Fasher and have no access to food, water, or medical assistance that they need very urgently. You have to bear in mind that most of the health system in Sudan has collapsed, and definitely not in Darfur. So whilst people are being wounded, there's no means to treat them.
Spoljaric said the ICRC was extremely concerned about reports of a suspected massacre at the Saudi hospital. It was the long-besieged city's last known functioning medical facility, though what exactly happened there has not yet been substantiated. Spoljaric said ICRC staff in the nearby town Tawila had heard reports that people fleeing were sometimes collapsing and even dying out of exhaustion because of their wounds. The United States has said the RSF committed genocide in the Darfur city Janaina earlier in the war, which the group denies. Rights groups and US officials have also accused the RSF and allied militias of carrying out ethnic cleansing. The United Arab Emirates has been accused of sending the RSF substantial military support, but has repeatedly denied doing so.
Hold on, go back. What did he say?
Of carrying out had heard reports
Ethnic
that people
cleansing
fleeing were sometimes collapsing and even dying out of exhaustion because of their wounds. The United States has said the RSF committed genocide in the Darfur city Janaina earlier in the war, which the group denies. Rights groups and US officials have also accused the RSF and allied militias of carrying out ethnic cleansing. The United Arab Emirates has been accused of sending the RSF substantial military support, but
United Arab Emirates
denied doing so. Sudan's army also has foreign backers, including Egypt, and deployed Iranian-made drones to try to turn the tide of the conflict last year. Spoljaric said she was calling on alleged foreign backers of the warring sides to restrain them and make sure that they protect civilian populations.
Yeah, that shit they got going on over there, man, it's crazy, man. And you heard what they said, man. And the good thing about it is the shit's so corrupt. It's so corrupt over there, bro. Like, the fucking... It ain't no government and all that shit over there. It's so corrupt, man. Everybody getting paid by somebody. That's another thing, too, with this corruption, man, with these governments. It's corrupt, man. You can't trust nothing. Yeah, man, so I just want to touch on that situation with Sudan, man. Hopefully that they can, you know what I mean, innocent people can find a good, hideout spot, or, they can, at least be safe, the kids and everything, because that ain't good, man. That ain't good at all. So, yeah, man, hopefully prayers for Sudan, man, and the whole Africa, not just Sudan, the Congo, Somalia, all them going over to Libya, all that's going, because it ain't just Sudan. It's the whole Africa, you know what I mean? From east to west to south, There's still slave trades going over there to this day. You know what I mean? People getting sold in the underground market, all types of stuff. You know what I mean? And here in America too. But it's just way worse over there in Sudan, just because they don't have no type of you know, at least government like how we do, you know what I mean, for the most part. So, but yeah, man, I just want to talk about this government shutdown, because I think this is the longest I ever seen the government shutdown. It's been, almost 2 months. So, let's see what they talking about, man, with this government shutdown. But it's getting crazy now. People ain't working. I see the airports getting, I just seen, he said, over like 10,000 flights been canceled or delayed over the whole United States. You know what I mean? Shit just been going bad. Like TSA workers ain't getting paid. Air traffic ain't getting paid. People ain't getting food stamps. It's getting bad out here, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's looking bad out here, man. So yeah, let's see what they talking about. They say it ain't no government issue is in sight. You know what I mean? Damn, people say the government shutdown will go beyond Thanksgiving. That's gonna hurt. No food stamps for Thanksgiving. People ain't getting paid for Thanksgiving, getting Christmas. That's another thing too. They always do it around the wrong times, man. It's holiday time. People got family and kids, and you know what I mean. That shit terrible, man. So let's see what they say. He said it's going to go well beyond Thanksgiving.
Here on the Hill, he is, as you probably know if you watch this show, the Republican from the
hit some record day 30. That's why I said it's the longest I've ever seen a government shutdown.
Thanks for being
38
with us
days.
here tonight. Obviously, there's the safety, right? Everybody wants every single flight to be safe, bar none. That's a non-negotiable. But now with Sean Duffy talking about 4%, 10%, 20%, are we also watching a negotiation?
I don't know if it's negotiation or not, and thank you for having me on. I just realized I'm wearing something from the Senator Fetterman collection. That's not my intention, but
it's all good. It's a Friday night, sir.
Right on. But no, I think everything is a negotiation. Every move is one way or the other. But the Republicans have staked their ground. We said we want to clean CR. It's what the Democrats have voted on 13 times in the past. They don't like Trump. Schumer doesn't like AOC. He sees the far left. He's got to draw them in. He knows that if AOC announces tomorrow, she'll raise $10 million over the weekend that she's running for the Senate. And he was trying. And look, that's what leadership is about, unfortunately, in both parties. It's about holding on to leadership. It's about, schmoozing enough to your own party members that they'll walk the plank, literally. And you're seeing that with the Democrats. I mean, if I had to read the lies one more time from any of them about the Republicans' health care problem, we didn't create this. This is Obamacare. And then
Here was President Trump just a little while ago, Congressman. He said the United States Senate should not leave town until they have a deal to end the Democrat shutdown, as he puts it. So he wants the Senate to stay here and get a deal done. I had Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene on the show earlier this week. Here's what she said. I want to get your reaction.
The fact that the House has been closed for 6 weeks now is a complete and total utter failure. And that's on the Speaker of the House. While the rest of America is going to work every single day, you're going to work, people in this building are going to work. Mike Johnson is telling us to stay home and not do our job.
She right there? You got any issue with what she says?
Margaret's my friend, but the truth is we did our job. And there's a lot going on there behind the scenes, and everybody knows it. The Republicans did their job. We voted for a clean CR, the same CR that the Democrats voted for 13 times in the past. And so people are always at odds with leadership, and that's just the way it is. We're in this thing for the long haul. I think we better fix it. I agree with President Trump that the Senate needs to stay in Washington and not come home till they fix this daggum problem.
What's wrong with the deal that Chuck Schumer put out there today, or the offer that Chuck Schumer put out there today, which was essentially open the government and extend the Obamacare tax credits for a year? What's wrong with that?
Well, what's wrong with President Trump's idea of opening the government, and then he'll negotiate the healthcare crisis that the Democrats created? They just want another year of this thing. It funds the insurance companies. Let's look at who makes the profit. Multi-billion-dollar profits with the insurance. You see Senator Warren out there running from this. And the reason is because the Democrats are being funded by them. They are being funded by this thing. Their party is being funded by it. That's who's getting fat off Obamacare. It's not the doctors. It's not the patients. It sure as heck isn't the patients. They were lied to from the start. Remember Pelosi said you got to pass it to know what's in it? That's exactly what this is about. The K Street lobbyists are just waving, you know, it's like they got a $5 bill and they throw it on a fishing line and run it down the hall to the Senate chambers, and they all the Democrats.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, they need to get it done, man. They need to get it done. And I ain't gonna lie to you, people ain't getting paid, man. And if this go in beyond through Thanksgiving, which Thanksgiving is in what, 2 weeks? Yeah, Thanksgiving ain't this week coming up, but Thanksgiving, because this week coming up is what, 18th? Because tomorrow, what, the 9th? Yeah, so this next week is Thanksgiving, man. Basically, it's in 2 weeks. Really a week, in a couple days. Really like 12 days. So man, they need to get this deal done, man, so people can get their paychecks and then you gotta think, people gonna get all this back pay and all this stuff, right? What about these people that's working, you know what I mean, that ain't been getting no paycheck for the last two paychecks. Cause shit, 38 days, that's about 2 paychecks. You know what I mean? You get paid 2 times a month. So within 31 days, you shouldn't have got 2 full paychecks. So these people missed 2 full paychecks and damn near on their 3rd. You know what I mean? I feel so bad for them people, man, because ain't nothing like getting that paycheck, man, once you done work them 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Getting that paycheck, and if you like, even though it ain't nowhere near what you worth and what you should be getting. But it's like, all right, at least, you know what I mean, I got something that I work for. You feel what I'm saying? And it's pennies for real. But just let you know, you gotta go to work and you ain't getting paid. Man, they got the gang fucked up. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So they need to get this deal done. They need to do whatever they need to do. And I ain't gonna lie to you. What I will say though is, I'm keep hearing that it's this thing about this state shutdown because of this Medicaid situation, Medicare, which I'm hearing that, you know, the last administration, but Biden and them let all these illegal immigrants over and gave them all types of free health care, and now us as taxpayer citizens got to pay that. You feel what I'm saying? Got to pay for that. You know what I mean? Because somebody's funding this. When you go, you go to the doctors and all that stuff ain't free. We got to pay for that, the taxpayer citizens. So I am with that on that too. Like, yo, we just can't give y'all all this money, these 10, 20, 30 billion dollars for all this, and y'all, you know what I mean, messing up and screwing up the money. You know what I mean? Because like you said, like this guy said, he made a good point. Somebody getting fat off this money. Who getting fat? Because we starving. The patients are starving. I'm pretty sure the doctors, they ain't starving. You know what I mean? They ain't getting probably the billions of dollars. You know what I mean? But they ain't. You know what I mean? They getting little incentives and all that too. Because doctors ain't. You know what I mean? They doctors doing all right. Well over all right. You know what I mean? But like you said, man, you know, even the doctors, they not benefit the most off this. Shit, it's these insurance companies and these pharmaceutical companies, man. You know what I mean? They the one making billions and billions of dollars. So it's like, yo, we gotta start looking at these motherfuckers, but they the ones that control America, yo. Shit, you wanna know who really control America? Pharmaceutical companies, man. I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like, for real. This shit is a business. You know what I mean? This shit is a business, bro. So, yeah, I'm just on the tip where it's like, man, but I want these people that's working, you know what I mean, these jobs and TSA. Good thing I don't got no flight right now. I just seen that my airport, BWI, out here in Baltimore, they just canceled, like they said, like 30, 40 flights today. Well, yesterday and through going into today. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? That's people trying to get home to their family. It's getting holiday time. You know what I mean? It's the worst time to do it. It's holiday times. People ready to be traveling more. People ready to be trying to spend money more. People ready to be trying to look out for their family, be with their family. So, yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. This is a bad situation they got going on right now, man. They need to definitely fix this. You know what I mean? I'm not with the, you know, just giving our taxpayer dollars away. You know what I mean? I am with them on that because, you know, that shit going to definitely come back and fuck us over. They going to raise taxes on us. And we the ones that's making America go around, the hard-working taxpayer citizens. You know what I mean? We making the country go around. You know what I mean? So, it's crazy, yo. But, man, I just had to get on here and, you know what I mean, kick it with y'all real quick, let y'all know, you know, what's my opinions of everything, what's going on, man. It's pretty slow tonight, so I know everybody out partying, so yeah, man, we gonna call it a quits. Yeah, man, but make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. We definitely gonna be on live. I'm definitely going some more lives. I'm gonna do some more videos too, that way I can get it in the algorithm, because they don't put your lives in the algorithm like that unless you a subscriber, but you know what I mean? So we definitely gonna, you know what I mean, keep doing it, man. Keep grinding, keep motivating, keep elevating. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe, check out my other lives, check out my other videos. Yeah, man. Robbie TV, Shake Back Kid. We out.